Join us on our Lenten Journey Reflections, Daily Grace.
Scripture tells us about the history of God's relationship with humanity, and in that reveals to us so much about God. It is like an ancient path to knowledge of God. Knowing God is more important than knowing about God. For Christians, knowing God also means knowing a person. If you want to know more about God, learn more about Jesus. One reason God became human was to show us more clearly what God was like. Jesus embodied God. Jesus of Nazareth communicates his understanding through the form of the parable. During biblical times, stories carried meaning without having to be converted into a rigid statement. In a sense, Jesus of Nazareth was a story told by God. Jesus communicated spiritual truths through parables. In order to communicate an essential truth, God offered us a parable, Jesus. The same can be said about the holy men and women, the saints. We learn so much about the source of their love in the way they love God. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin was a French Jesuit and paleontologist who lived from 1881 to 1955. In his book, Spirit of Fire, you cannot feel but the love, union and communion that Teilhard found between the interplay of science and religion. Teilhard encountered God through many avenues, including the contemplation of nature. There is a communion with God, he wrote, and a communion with earth, and a communion with God through earth. His wisdom and writings were before his time. The Jesuits see God in all things. Teilhard understood that you can learn about God through the natural world by seeing how God reveals beauty and order in the universe. We can learn a lot about God through the experiences of such holy men and women. Through them, we can glimpse the transcendent, not that they are divine, rather that they are like a clean window through which the light of God shines.
You are listening to Daily Grace. Join us daily at 7:30 a.m, 12 noon and 7:30 p.m. on Radio Tomorrow.